Dear Ariana Grande, I saw that you recently reposted a tweet about Trump, which said, "It's been 250 days. Now that immigrants have been violently torn from their families and communities have been destroyed, now that trans people have been blamed for virtually everything and live in fear, now that free speech is on the brink of collapse for us all, has your life gotten better? Have your groceries gotten cheaper? Has your health insurance premium gone down? Has your work-life balance improved? Can you take a vacation yet? Are you happier? Has the widespread suffering of others paid off for you in the way he promised it would, or are you still waiting?" And as I was reading this post, I had a lot of thoughts that I wanted to share in this video. To be honest, I was a little shocked and disappointed at the same time because of your double standards that I'll try to point out in this video. First of all, I'd like to talk about the immigration issue and the whole being violently torn from their families thing. As far as I'm aware, Trump wants to fix illegal immigration because he believes that a strong enforcement of immigration law is necessary to uphold sovereignty, protect American jobs, and ensure national security. What he's doing is a response to what he sees as the failures of open border policies under previous administrations. We know that the borders were weak before and that more illegal immigrants came in, but what we also know, well, what I know, you don't seem to know that, is that Biden has deported immigrants as well. So when Biden does it, it's enforcement, but when Trump does it, it's cruelty? That doesn't really make sense. Also, I think that what happened at your concert in Manchester was also some form of failed immigration. I know that the people responsible were not illegal immigrants, and that some of them were born in Manchester, but their family is from Libya. They all seem to be connected to the Islamic ideology somehow, and that also seems to have been the motive behind the attack. Shouldn't you, a victim of such a horrible event, be acknowledging that there's a right and wrong way to do immigration, Ariana? And that immigration can fail, and that when it does fail, it needs to be fixed and improved? We also know that a lot of the illegal immigrants that come to the US have committed crimes in their home countries and that they keep committing crimes once they've reached the States. How can you be okay with that? What should we say to the families who lost their loved ones? What do we say to Patty Morin, who lost her daughter Rachel because a fugitive from El Salvador illegally immigrated to the US? And what do we say to Tammy Nobles, who lost her daughter Kayla, that was taken from her way too soon by an illegal alien and known MS-13 gang member? I also have to mention that it takes a lot of effort, money, and time to become a legal immigrant and to go through the whole process of becoming a legal citizen. So why should other people be able to cut in line? How is that fair? Do you know who actually was violently torn from his family? Charlie Kirk. His family will never see him again. I don't remember you showing compassion for his family and friends or reacting to his death in any way. But I remember you were at the BLM protests after what happened to George Floyd, a convicted criminal who resisted the police that day. This is another double standard that I can't ignore. Now I'd like to address the trans issue. You say that trans people are blamed for everything, but let's look at the facts. A trans person has shot children at a Christian church in Minneapolis while they were praying. Someone associated with the trans person has shot Charlie Kirk in front of his family while he was trying to have a peaceful discussion. So, trans people are blamed for everything? Or is it that they are actually responsible? I also don't understand how you and your trans friends can take such a victim mentality when you are literally pushing your agenda in our faces. You wave your little flag at every concert, you want the Bible out of the school, even praying in front of an abortion clinic is not allowed, and you want abortion up until birth to be legal. You are not the victim here. You are part of a very small but very loud group of people that are trying to distort reality and morality and destroy common sense. I also don't like how it's framed that trans people are attacked, that they're innocent, that they haven't done anything wrong, and that people are coming after them for no reason at all. It's simply not like that. Trump wants to limit gender-affirming procedures for minors because kids are not capable of making an irreversible decision at such a young age. It's not against trans people, it's to protect children. We also don't want drag queen stuff for children. It's too early for them to be exposed to that at that age. We don't want biological men and female sports, female bathrooms, and other female spaces. I really don't think I have to explain this one. Again, this is not against trans people, this is to protect women. You think that free speech is under attack? You're not alone. Jennifer Lawrence thinks the same. I have to ask you a question. Do you remember when the Biden administration pressured social media companies to remove content during COVID? Even satire and jokes got taken down. Mark Zuckerberg himself admitted that the White House leaned on Facebook to censor posts, and later said that was inappropriate government influence. He even apologized for complying. So if that's not a threat to free speech, then what is? And then look at what happens when something tragic happens to someone on the right, like Charlie Kirk being killed. Conservatives didn't riot and didn't burn cities. The response was peaceful. But what we did see was people on the left celebrating online, mocking, making fun of his death. Imagine that, celebrating someone's death just because you disagreed with his views. Meanwhile, when George Floyd was killed, we saw an entirely different reaction. Massive protests, violence, and the media framing it as righteous anger. So why the double standard again? Then there's Jimmy Kimmel, spreading stuff that isn't even true. His show is canceled for 3 days, and suddenly there's this whole wave of celebrities crying about how free speech is under attack. But when someone who actually stood for open discussion and freedom of opinion gets murdered, silence. A man even shot into the ABC building because Kimmel was taken off the air, and somehow that's Trump's fault? There are even people like Destiny saying that if we wanted Charlie Cook alive, Trump shouldn't have become president. Really? So now it's Trump's fault that someone on the left committed violence? But conservatives aren't the ones out there shooting people or celebrating deaths. We're not blaming an entire community, we're pointing out facts. The violence happened, the hypocrisy is real. And if we really care about free speech, then we should be able to talk honestly about the ideology that's been growing over the past few years, and the impact it's had on our ability to think, speak, and disagree freely. And now to the groceries. I actually can't believe your PR team let you share this because it's giving, tell me you're completely out of touch from reality without telling me you are vibes. Do you know who your fans are? The people streaming your songs, buying your merch, showing up to your concerts? They're the ones who actually do have to worry about grocery prices. They don't live in mansions, they don't fly on private jets, and they definitely notice when eggs double in price. It's clear that you don't care about what groceries cost because you can afford pretty much anything, but you're forgetting who supports you every day and that those people are the reason you have that much money in the first place. So in the end, you're just a rich celebrity trying to shame regular people for wanting affordable healthcare and groceries. And that's not the mic drop moment you think it is. In my opinion, the administration has achieved some good things. I think we can say that the border is more secure. I quote, "Border enforcement reached historic lows in illegal crossings, with some months seeing 0 illegal immigrants released into the interior. Over 1.4 million illegal immigrants lost fraudulent benefits, and $40 billion in social programs were protected for U.S. citizens due to stricter immigration enforcement. There are also initiatives to make the people healthier again. Major strides were made in health initiatives, pushing for elimination of artificial dyes in food and making commitments across 35% of the industry. A large tax cut was passed, bringing huge relief for working and middle-class Americans, small businesses, and farmers. On top of that, new jobs were created as well. Thank God Trump also implemented executive orders protecting children from chemical and surgical gender transition treatments. And women's sports are free from men, as it should be. These are good things in my opinion. Now, is it over and should we stop there? Definitely not. There's still work to do. But it's a good start, and I'm so glad this administration is doing the things it's doing. Ariana, I know you don't like Christianity, but it's more inclusive than you think. You don't like it because it goes against your woke worldview. But I genuinely hope that you come back to the straight path. This makes me think of the parable in Luke 15. No matter how far away you think you are from God, you're never out of reach. And I will continue to pray for your salvation because it matters where you spend eternity. What I won't do anymore is listen to your music though. I should have stopped a long time ago, but this was the final straw. Until your post, I thought that you could at least be decent and human enough to say that it's wrong to kill someone while they're having a peaceful discussion. But it seems as if I was wrong. Me now listening to your music will matter to you. I'm just one person among millions of people. You'll keep making your money, but money and music isn't everything. This life we're living right now isn't everything. We all have a soul that will outlast this life we are living in right now. The world has shown us that there are clearly good and evil forces out there. The line is increasingly visible, and at some point in our lives, we are forced to make a decision about who we are going to follow. I'm a follower of God, and I believe that He has already given us the truth through Jesus Christ. We don't need to add or take away from the truth, and we certainly don't make up what is right based on how we feel. Our job is to listen to God, and for as much as I used to love your powerful voice, I simply refuse to listen to anyone who rejects the truth. I will continue praying for your salvation, Ariana, because even though you might be lost now, God can certainly meet you wherever you're at in life.